stuff like this happens so we can learn to trust him is basically what I'm understanding. Like, as much as I don't want it to happen, like, who wants to be late on their rent? But it's like, it's situations like this where you learn to trust people. And I mentioned marriage because it's like, I guess I'm learning like trust that don't start off with something you automatically like just come in the door with, like, oh, like it's something earned. Bringing faith into view. So I'm sitting here doing my makeup. I just feel like I should just go ahead and tell y'all what's been going on with me. I got therapy in like another hour, right? And I done already started on my makeup. One of my eyebrows technically done, but yeah. So I'm gonna just go ahead and do a little makeup run with y'all just to tell y'all where I am. So as y'all know, I've been adjusting to getting acclimated without a car. First, real quick, I did something new with my hair. I always wanted to wear a claw clip. So I got to do that with this, and I like it. This may be one of my little new go-tos. But anyway, like I said, y'all know I am getting acclimated to not having a car, me getting Ubers to work or whatever. It's been taking a toll on my finances. Basically, I found myself complaining. I remember in one of my old Bible studies, I told y'all how God pointed out to me it's a difference between praying about something and complaining. I've honestly been frustrated with God because it feel like ain't nothing getting better or whatever as far as like my financial burden. When he told me to give my car up or whatever, I asked, so what was going on with my car? I basically found myself in a position where I kept getting stuff done on that car. I went through a whole transmission with that car, whatever, brakes, just maintenance in general. Kept getting into car accidents, dealing with people trying to steal my car. So when God told me to give my car up, the expectation I had was this was gonna be like my breakthrough of me not being in not even debt or whatever, like just not being able to enjoy the fruits of my labor, just being tired of living, I don't even want to say living paycheck to paycheck, because it's like, I feel like that's kind of an understatement. It's like I only have, well, maybe it's not. Basically, it just feel like I'm just living to pay bills. Like I'm not enjoying life. And it's getting frustrating. So it's like when God told me to give up my car, I didn't expect for him to put me in another car, because at this moment I honestly don't want one. I just want to be financially free, like have some financial freedom to not only pay my bills, but if I want to do something on a weekend, like right now, this is after therapy. I'm doing my makeup for therapy, but after therapy, that's it. I'm finna sit in the house and watch TV. I'm just tired of my weekends looking like this. Like even when I had a car, me going to the grocery store, putting on a little bit of clothes or whatever, that was me getting out and doing something. But it's like now that I don't even have my car and gotta have my groceries delivered here, whatever, it feels like it's getting worse. And I found myself becoming bitter with God, and complaining. And it's this ongoing process. And yesterday when I was, I ain't even doing my makeup. So basically, when I was reading my daily bread yesterday, it was in the book of Nehemiah, and the daily bread was about God being in the details. And what they had touched on in Nehemiah was basically how the Israelites had stopped to just appreciate what God was doing for them. If you're familiar with the book of Nehemiah, Nehemiah was a man who had worked for the government, and he had saw that the wall, I forgot, I don't remember if it was in Jerusalem or I forgot where exactly he went to go and rebuild the wall, but I will be sure to put that up on the screen right here, whatever. He went back to help his people and to rebuild the wall. And if you're familiar with back then, walls, like, it was security for them. It served as protection for them. So them not having walls, if you read through the book of Nehemiah or whatever, or just read the Old Testament, the Israelites, they went through a lot of attacks at that time or whatever. So them having this wall, it served as protection for them. It was like God was giving them security again from and protecting them from their enemies. And even though God didn't come down and physically build with his hands the wall or whatever, they still took time to appreciate, because everybody came together and somebody did something. So it was like they still took time aside to thank God for all of that. They confessed they elders sins, their ancestors sins, the sins that they had did prior to them, and was just thanking him and worshiping him. And typically it feels redundant to read stuff like that in the Bible. Like, we'll typically read over something like that. We'll read, well, not read, but skip over like the genealogy and stuff like that. But I decided to go ahead and read that yesterday, and I got convicted. And like I said, I remember in one of my Bible studies, I told y'all that God told me that it's a difference between praying and asking God to help you with something or to remove something versus you complaining. The Bible says God resists the proud, and he exalts the humble. So I don't know. Ever since then, I've just been sitting thinking, like, and wondering, like, maybe God haven't answered my prayer. He's been taking care of me and getting me through things, but maybe he just haven't been answering my prayers the way I expect him to, because I haven't been asking him for anything. I've been simply complaining. And even in that complaining, because he's so gracious and because he's so merciful and because he don't want to see me back on the streets again, he's been giving me that. He's been simply giving me that, the bare minimum, because that's technically all I'm asking for. That's what my complaints is producing. But yeah. Ever since he told me that, y'all, it's just something I've been meditating on. And another thing, so the reason why I said that, y'all excuse me if I sound a little different too. I'm coming down with a cold. Well, I don't know if it's my sinuses because I have allergies and you know spring is here, so y'all, I don't know. Anyway, so last month I was late on my rent. I was only able to pay $350 of my rent. Mind you, my rent is not expensive. I'ma just go ahead and put that out there. My rent is not even $1,000. My rent is $855, and I was only able to pay $350 of that. And like I said, me getting these Ubers or whatever, not been slowing down. I'm gonna say that too. So it's not anything on my end of like me not changing anything. I've only been getting Ubers from work and not to and from work. So I don't know, but I just decided to come home, and I decided to just simply ask him or whatever. If you're familiar with me, familiar with my old, like some of my old videos I done told y'all like the type of relationship I have with God. I could be going through something and the next thing I know, I'm seeing a check in the mail. That happened. So today is the 28th, right? It's Saturday. I want to say, so last week, literally a week ago, a check was in the mail. I received a check in the mail last week. And not only that, he sent another one Thursday. Simply, once I humbled myself and asked him nicely and didn't come to him like from like this complaining heart, like just complaining. And when I was reading my daily bread yesterday, when he got on me or whatever, I know marriage is something he has called me to. And after I had read, so like I said, I know marriage is something God is calling me to. He was basically explaining to me how this is something I need to keep in mind or whatever, because when I get married, something I think I always hear men say is how they just want to feel appreciated. It's a man's, as wives, it's our husband's responsibility. Once we get married, we become our husband's responsibility, right? And God called us like the weaker vessel for a reason, meaning like the husband, he's gonna be taking on like the heavier load in that marriage, like bills, all of that stuff. And it's not, I don't want to say it's because he have to, but not because he have to. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but besides that or whatever, basically, yes, I'm a child of God or whatever. It's God's responsibility to take care of me, whatever. But like, you just want to hear thank you. The same thing a husband will want to hear, right? Say for instance, I was married and my husband, he just come back or whatever, and he know I like coffee, so he bring me back a coffee or something or whatever, and I just take the coffee and like just start drinking it or whatever. He gonna stand, probably whoever he is, probably gonna stand there and just look at me like, you ain't gonna say thank you? And it's not to say that I don't tell God thank you. I tell God thank you, but soon after that, it's like I just go on about my merry little way, and then sooner or later, if something else happened, I'm right back at square one complaining. like he didn't just perform a miracle before. When I woke up and saw that check, I broke down in my bed and started crying. But the simple fact, I knew if that didn't happen, I don't know what would have happened. I was seeing myself like on this constant hamster wheel, me constantly missing work because I ain't got nowhere to work. My check's finna be short, and me constantly finna be paying maybe $350 of my rent. Like being on a hamster wheel of that sort. So it's not that I didn't tell God thank you. It's just that I found myself going right back to that mindset. Like I said, here it is. It's spring. I don't have a car. I'm tired of getting my food delivered or whatever. I just want a little something to dilly-dally with, if that makes sense. Like just to be able to enjoy the fruits of my labor. I found myself immediately going back and complaining. And he had to stop me and check me in. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. Depending on how this come out, this video, I think I'm gonna start doing my makeup right here. I like the lighting right here. It's a lot of natural light right here. I don't even have my light on in my living room. This is strictly like my living room front, the window. And we done. Yep. Alright, I am gonna pick y'all back up after I'm done putting on my mascara and doing my lip. See y'all in a minute. I'm done. I still got like about 30 minutes left, y'all, so I don't know, but yeah, keep me in y'all prayers, so I can stop complaining and see God in the details. Remember when I told y'all, he told me that when he take me to where he's taking me, not to forget him, like how he kept highlighting that. And I said I knew it. It's something I never want to give myself too much. I don't want to trust my own flesh enough to believe that I won't do that. Like basically be like Peter. Because apparently it's something he know about me. So yeah, just keep me in y'all prayers. Yeah, that's it. I will see y'all in my next video. Peace.
But let me start off in prayer.
Okay.
Dear Father God, thank you so much for making this meeting happen today. Father, I ask that you'll please sit with us to talk about whatever it is you put on Rosalind's heart. Father, I pray that it will not be my own words and thoughts that I impart onto her today. I pray for your knowledge and your wisdom, Father God. I pray that whatever it is that you want her to understand and see more clearly, that you'll help me to articulate those. I pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. You know how the Bible say we loved him because he first loved us. So stuff like this happens so we can learn to trust him is basically what I'm understanding. Like, as much as I don't want it to happen, like, who wants to be late on their rent? But it's like, it's situations like this where you learn to trust people. And I mentioned marriage because it's like, I guess I'm learning like trust that don't start off with something you automatically like just come in the door with, like, oh, like it's something earned. Like, you learn to trust people based on like consistency, how, well, I don't even want to say persistent, consistency, and like through their actions, like how they keep showing up. So I just got off my call with my therapist. And as you can see, she's a Christian. Get you a Christian therapist, somebody that's gonna pray with you, pray over your situations. I didn't expect to cry today. I didn't expect to talk about my emotions today. Empty way. And I'm not gonna talk about the relational aspect, like how this person relates to me, like if this is a friend, a brother, a sister, niece, uncle, whatever, whoever it is. I'm not going to talk about it in that aspect, simply because I don't know if they may find this, or who will find this rather. But we talked about those betrayals that I told y'all about. I want to say probably like about 3, maybe 4 vlogs ago. She just made me dig deeper. So the way I was brought up, we didn't express our emotions. I grew up in a house where the person who raised me, their emotions was unpredictable. While at the same time, if you knew she was pissed off or felt about a way, we're gonna hear about it because she's gonna get up yelling through the house. So that's the type of emotional environment I grew up in. Here I am going into my adulthood. I am the type of person who suppressed my feelings. The best word I use to describe how I feel, it's always pissed off. They done pissed me off. Don't piss me off. That's my favorite line. Don't piss me off. But it's always pissed off, and of course, pissed off that's the bigger frame of that, the bigger takeaway from that is mad, right? But if you break that down, underneath anger and being mad, it's hurt, it's resent. Basically, she just walked me through this diagram of emotions. Like I said, anger. If you look at anger, it that under the umbrella of anger, it would be mad, it would be resent, it would be hate, and some other ones. She gave me a well, she's gonna send it to me. So whenever she send that to me, I guess maybe I'll share it with y'all or whatever. But she just had me go through all of those, pick out like based on how I felt betrayed by that person, go through that diagram and like pick out, she said at least three words that resonate with how I felt. And I've picked more than 3 or whatever. I just went around the whole little diagram and just picked out like what resonated with me or whatever. And I made it through that one crying. But then she got to digging deeper. Digging deeper. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? And she broke me. She broke me. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's why we need therapy, though. Man, it's just so crazy how, because it's, as you said, it's something I prayed about. It's something I told y'all, went to church, went to the altar twice about healing from hurt. It's never, what I'm learning, it's never something that just magically goes away. It's something you work through. It's something you work through. Yeah, something you work through, y'all. But yeah, I just want to encourage y'all. If y'all not seeing a therapist, it's good to see one. Been seeing mine going on 2 years now. So, yeah. Get you one that's saved, one who can pray with you and pray for you. That's it. I am gonna eat me a bowl of pickles and drink some wine. No, I just ate. I can go for a little snack, maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna drink me some wine and watch TV. See y'all in my next vlog. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. Turn on the notification bell. Don't forget to like, share, comment. And that's it. Again, I'll see y'all in my next vlog. How much more?
no stress, I know I'm blessed. 'Cause God's got his hands on me. Can't get enough of you, yeah, I'm obsessed. They seem but I still believe. If the birds and the trees ain't gotta worry, neither do I. And why would I get in a hurry? Okay, why would I? How much more? How much more? Really care